Carly's Crossing. Thanks for coming out today as we kick off the 8th annual Carly's Crossing. This year's crossing event will be held Sunday, August 15th, right here at the Small Boat Harbor at Gallagher Beach. This year we're planning on having more swimmers than ever, hopefully somewhere in the range of 350. And we raise money on that day for Carly's Club and all the activities that go to support pediatric cancer research and cancer patient services. We're hoping to have a lot of people come out this year, support the swimmers, support the families. It's a great day. There's a lot to do. The people at Roswell go to all ends to provide a fun atmosphere, a safe atmosphere. There's food, there's games, there's bands, there's refreshments. It's just a wonderful day. It's a great party atmosphere, and we'd love for you to come down and be a part of it, whether you are swimming or not. Just to support a swimmer, see what it's like, enjoy a beautiful day here on the improved Gallagher Beach. The funds we raise here are very, very critical to breakthrough research at Roswell Park and programs that support kids. There's some very, very special circumstances this year. It seems like every year a new story arises that makes our work here even more important than the year before. And to lend a little more credence to that previous statement, I'd like to welcome Chuck Collard, the co-founder and chair of Carly's Club, and Carly's dad, the reason we all gather here every single year at this time. Chuck?
Thanks, Joe. Thanks to all to come out today, and we really appreciate the support. It's been 10 years since Carly founded Carly's Club, and to think and see what it's grown in today is very, very refreshing. And I remember 8 years ago when Joe showed up at my door on a January night after a lengthy run while it was snowing out, saying he had this idea to found Carly's Crossing, and he wanted to swim across the lake with 26 people, which turned into 52, and to think 8 years later that we're at this particular place and time is quite amazing. Carly was the type of individual that always put other people first, and she always wanted to deflect attention off of her and reach out to help other kids that are going through the battle. And the one thing about pediatric cancer, it's a painful reminder that life doesn't always turn out the way it's supposed to. And about 8 years ago when we started the event, I remember some of the volunteers that were out there, and one of them was a family that's committed their time and attention over the last so many years, and unfortunately they received a call a month ago that somebody within their family was faced with pediatric cancer. So like I said, it's one of those things where what you do today, you don't know the benefit that it's going to give tomorrow. And to be able to have all these people out here, and people that are going to be out on August 15th, to give to the cause and to raise over $600,000 over the last 8 years is extremely important for this community and for the individuals here. What I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce the McDonald family, specifically Nancy McDonald, to come up and share some insight about what her family has dealt with over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Nancy?
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. Our family, 8 years ago, Joe came to our house too, right after talking to Chuck, and said, would your daughter be interested in swimming for Carly's Crossing? And Abigail at that time was 10 years old, and she was a friend and a classmate of Carly and a swimmer, and so of course we said yes. And then a few years later, Cameron got a little bit older and he decided he wanted to swim, and then I wanted to swim. And before we knew it, all the McDonalds were in swimming. And this year, we have a special cause because Cameron, who's now 15, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in June. So this year, we are swimming in honor of Cameron, and in honor of Nicole, who we've met, and all of the other children and families we've met in the past 4 or 5 weeks at Roswell. You know, when your child is diagnosed with cancer, your heart kind of sinks. And then you get to those pediatric doors, and your heart sinks again. And then you walk through those doors and you see everything that Carly and Carly's Club has done. You see the tree house and all the families. You see the waiting room, and you see how children have benefited and walked through those doors and how it's a warm atmosphere. And then you walk into the Lion's Den and you see the games and the atmosphere that are directly there to help your children. You know, this event is 1 in a million. It's children, hundreds of New York State, Western New York children who are swimmers coming together to help other children they don't even know. Maybe they're classmates in the future that will need Carly's Club. maybe their other family members. So I'd like to encourage everybody to come and support these children. We have hundreds of children who are trying to help hundreds of other children in a wonderful, wonderful cause. So if you can't swim, donate. And if you can't donate, volunteer. And if you can't volunteer, come and cheer on these children, because nothing means more than the support of Carly's Club, Carly's Crossing, when your child and your family needs it most. So thank you, Chuck, for starting it. Thank you for Carly for having the vision to do something that would benefit our son 8 years ago when we had no idea we would need it. So thank you.